the breath and breathing for something so simple, I think it was quite a challenge to tackle because I think it's deceptively simple. And the fact that breathing it's automatic. We do it all the time, every single day, but we don't think about it very much. It's not something that I've ever really had to think about as much as I've thought about it. But I think that the amount of thinking I had to do about the breath made me appreciate how entwined it is with every aspect of the voice and of human sound.
I'm there at the circus, training for the big show. My first breaths are crucial. They will give me the energy to withstand the entire session. Up, up, up. In and out. Down. Over and over. Getting tired. Getting back up again. And again. In Kundalini Yoga, the breath of fire refers to an exercise that involves forcing air quickly out of the lungs using the diaphragm. It is attributed to Yogi Bhajan in the 1960s, and it has an energizing and an anxiety-reducing effect. For this piece, I researched the amygdala, a rough almond-shaped mass of gray matter inside each cerebral hemisphere involved with experiencing emotions, and how breathing affects the way that the brain processes emotional states.
My name is Anobb Hyacinthe, and for my sound pieces, I really liked exploring the idea of like using Foley and using the breath and voice to create Foley and sound effects. For my breath piece, I sort of tried to like imitate, like create this Foley for like, a multitude of sounds that could be sort of used for like, actual films. Like I have like a rope swing, I have like rockets cutting through the air. And a good description of Foley is ultimately like creating sounds to like replace or like imitate a sound in real life for a film, essentially creating a sound effect to sort of match the things that we see on screen. Another thing that I really liked working with was affect bursts and using them like similar to that of voice acting, particularly screams imitating that of like Looney Tunes. I was deeply inspired by Mel Blanc's work on Looney Tunes and how he was able to voice all the characters in his iconic scream that still sort of lasts throughout the decades in our understanding of Looney Tunes. This time-stretched affect burst that I made is, my attempt to like sort of imitate Mel Blanc's like style and sort of play with it and create something really interesting out of it.
Stems are both this silly form of expression, but also something special. Like, a bunch of people have, like, various different forms of stems. Like, oh, maybe it's something more physical, like tapping their foot or doing, like, little jingles or something. And then other people will say, like, silly things that that they'll hear around them, or maybe something in private.
Bang, bash, crash, clatter, ding, dong, splash, splatter, ring, sizzle, pop, chatter, cheer, clap, fizz, crackle, rumble, whisper, jingle, jangle, flip, flop, honky, tonk, zoom. Zip, zoom, swoosh, thud, crunch, moan, knock, hush, la la, honky tonk, boom. Whimpering, rustling, moo. Hiccup, cackle, and poo. Howling and growling's a hoot. Just do whatever that honky tonk do. The tradition of ad-lib and nonsensical lyricism in country, folk, and blues music is an innovative method of storytelling that has influenced nearly every genre of music. In this piece, I use onomatopoeia to replicate these lyrical patterns. Onomatopoeia is the formation of a word from a sound associated with what it is named. Whimpering, rustling, moo. Hiccup, cackle, and poo. Howling and growling's a hoot. Just do whatever that honky tonk do.
Short affect bursts shouted when performing an attacking or receiving move in Japanese martial arts, especially karate. The purpose of ki is for proper breathing technique, intimidation, and maintaining energy in a fight. Ki is personal and often explosive and loud, making the practice especially useful in films and fighting games.
When words melt into sound or music, it's called semantic satiation, a psychological phenomenon in which repetition causes a word or phrase to temporarily lose its meaning for the listener, for the listener, for the listener, for the listener.
I was slipping away. That's what it felt like. I was slipping away. But I wasn't afraid. Life was. Then I remembered. But I wasn't afraid. Something I was. Then I remembered to do. There was something I was meant to make to do. Somewhere I was meant to be. Every night I dreamed this. The smell of damp earth. This beating. Always go back to. And I went away. And that's what it felt like. I slipped away. That's what I wasn't afraid. That's what it felt. But I wasn't afraid. There was something. But I wasn't afraid. There was something I was meant to be. There was something I was meant to be. Somewhere I was meant to be. That's what I wasn't afraid. But I wasn't afraid. But I wasn't afraid. There was something I was meant to be. Somewhere I was meant to be. Somewhere I was meant to be. That's what I wasn't afraid. That's what. But I wasn't afraid. But I wasn't afraid. There was something I was.
The following prosody is inspired by Midwestern poet Izzy Casey's poem titled I'm Piss Witch. In the poem, the only vowels are I's, and every word has an I in it. I used this poem to invoke the prosody and musicality in the language already there, inverting it on itself so in that it speaks to the way language makes us feel because of its sound, rather than the connotative qualities that the word choices invoke alone. Hi, I kill little fish with this stick. Swish, hit it, right, in its mind, stirring, in its. I'm with child, in this tiny pink bikini. I'm Mississippi's kid, birth, it is bliss, it is wind, climate, high. Hi, I'm bi, I'm hiding, in this lint bin, with this stick, sniffing it, little stick. It stinks, it is shrimp. Is it shrimp? It is shrimp, I think. Ships sink, blips thin, lights dim, virgins sin, Shrinks snitch, clinics fib, I drink milk with gin. I sip fig chili. Fig chili is bright. Limp, I tilt Dick's lid, I lick Bill ill. Dignity stinks, I lick Bill ill. Ribbit, hiss, I'm girl with girth, I'm sick with thrills. I tip in pills, I'm fit with infirmity. I slit wrists, I dip chips in dip. I mimic victims, I inhibit will. I'm civil, ink. I'm instinct's bib, I'm critic chic. I'm shining, I'm Big Bird's twin. I wish I'm skinny, if, I'm diminishing. It is in this mind I'm in. Hi.
On a cold day in a distant kingdom, a daughter was born to a queen and a king. Her eyes were shiny and black all over, and the midwife laid her in the queen's arms and fled. The queen looked into the girl's eyes, shiny dark as beetle shells. And despised her on sight. The girl was small and never made a sound. Not even a cry the day she was born. Sure she wouldn't live. The queen refused to name her. At first, her prophecy seemed true. The months passed and the baby failed to grow. But she didn't die either. Alice three times. Her eyes were black from head to toe.
One more. Sing soft and clear. Quiet is the night. Quiet guidance. Soft and clear. Regardless, rest of the night. Quiet is the night. Far away.
Pray that the way that I know is the right way, and that from the right way I never do stray. And pray that the lights that reflect on the pavement, those glistening sirens and glittering and graying, rain in the morning and rain in the evening, and rain ironclad is no land we leave. Anchor is white among skies more morning, and the engine that burns up nighttime no more.